total non-stop excitement. We're pulling out all the stops as TNA heads towards Bound for Glory 10-10-10. Get ready as we prepare for this huge event today on TNA Xplosion. Hello, everybody. It's JP, Jeremy Borash, along with the human suplex machine, Taz. And we are getting set for the biggest pay-per-view event of the year.
Oh, absolutely. In this episode right here of Xplosion, JP, we got a little mix. Got some knockouts, and we got a tag team match. In the world of knockouts, in this episode, Sarita versus Angelina. That should be hot. Also, in a tag team match, Eric Young teams up with Orlando Jordan, the odd couple, against Suicide and the Freak, Rob Terry. But
right now, let's hear from the lady who will be taking on the TNA Knockouts champion, Angelina Love. I'm talking about Sarita.
Tonight on Xplosion, Sarita will be facing TNA Knockout champion Angelina Love in a non-title match. Sarita, what is your strategy going into tonight?
Yeah, a non-title match. I wonder why that is. Do you think Christy is because she's afraid of me? I mean, come on, she knows I win all the time. Angelina, what did you do? Did you go to the championship committee and cry and beg and get down on your knees and... you know, I don't have to do that, Christy, because I am a winner. I win all the time, especially since I got rid of that deadweight Taylor Wilde. I'm on my own. I don't need anyone by my side, Angelina. You better watch out. Tonight when you're standing in that ring, you're looking at me. You're not just looking at Sarita, okay? You're looking at the future knockout champion. So you know what? You might as well just hand me the belt and walk out of there and be lucky I don't kick your ass on the way out.
Sarita and Angelina Love tonight on Xplosion.
You just heard from Sarita, who will be taking on Angelina Love in a non-title match later tonight on Xplosion. Still to come, Eric Young and Orlando Jordan team up to take on Suicide and the Freak Rob Terry. But up next, we'll take a very special look at what's in store for the main event at Bound for Glory.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home of the 1996 Olympic gold medalist and 13-time world heavyweight champion, Kurt Angle.
For the first time in my career, I feel like I did in the 1996 Olympic Games. I feel like I need to prove something all over again. And what I've done is I haven't taken the easy way this time. I haven't taken the easy route. I decided to climb my way up the ladder and earn my spot. And it's because I'm at a point in my career where if I can't prove to everybody, including the other wrestlers and the world and all the great TNA wrestling fans, if I can't prove to them that I can be the champion at 41 years of age and keep going the way I do, it's hard for me to say this, and I get a little bit choked up thinking about it, but you know, it's not worth me doing it anymore. If I can't give my best and know that I gave my best out there and my best was good enough and I won the TNA World Heavyweight title, that would mean more to me now than anything else. But if I gave my best and I fell short, then I'm not washed up. I'll never say I'm washed up, but then it's time for me to step out.
Kurt Angle is on a quest for title number 14, vowing to retire from the sport of professional wrestling if he's unable to achieve the goal he's set for himself.
I have been champion before, many times. I've won 13 World Olympic titles, but I've never been more prepared than I am now. Physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, I am so focused on winning that I can't lose. So when I go to Bound for Glory, I will not be anything less happy than winning that title and knowing I either pin Jeff Hardy or Mr. Anderson.
Kurt's focus, determination, drive, and motivation to win is at an all-time high. Mr. Anderson's rise to the top of TNA wrestling has been fast and furious. Last month, he defeated the Pope at No Surrender to earn his spot in the main event.
I got into this business to win championships. and make money and travel the world. And I've traveled the world and I've made money. But, you know, for some reason that title, the championships just keep eluding me. And I'm going to put a stop to that. I plan on putting a stop to that on 10-10-10.
Anderson is a man of controversy and never short on words. His confidence only grows with each win.
Vince Lombardi said it best. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. And, you know, that's true for me in this business. I've always been competitive. I really don't know why or where that came from. I guess it had to do with my upbringing to a degree. You know, my grandfather, my father, my mother telling me that if you're gonna, you know, my dad used to tell me all the time, if when I'd do chores around the house, he'd tell me, you know, I'd screw something up. If you're not gonna do it right, the first time, don't bother doing it at all. And that's the way that I've approached everything in my life.
Anderson has not held TNA gold since arriving in the company last January, but feels that his time is now.
I do have something to prove. I have yet to capture that major title in this industry. I definitely feel like I have to prove something, and I will do that. It's just a matter of when and where. I think that when and where is going to be in Daytona Beach.
Jeff Hardy is arguably the most popular wrestler in the industry today. His star power is second to none, and his in-ring ability will leave you speechless. He is nothing short of extreme. Hardy also returned to TNA Wrestling for a second run back in January, and knows that coming up short at Bound for Glory is not an option.
I think to be a TNA World Heavyweight Champion, it means you're pretty much the best in the world, because TNA is the freshest, the dopest company in professional wrestling right now. It's so alternative and so new and real. So it says a lot that if you're the TNA champion, you're pretty much on top of the world. You're the headliner of Earth when you're the TNA champion, because you are the best, and that's how I would cherish that if I was the champion.
His sights are set on the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Will he be able to wear this title belt for the first time on 10-10-10?
Jeff Hardy is the next TNA World Heavyweight Champion because I've killed myself for this for years, and have been world champion before, and but never the TNA World Champion. So it's extremely important to me, because I don't know how much longer I have left in wrestling, because after the last few weeks leading up to Bound for Glory, it's been some of the hardest shows I've ever had to be a part of. But to become the TNA World Champion, Jeff Hardy would represent the people. He would represent everything I live for, which is entertaining the fans. And like I've said many times, without them, I wouldn't even be what I am right now, because they've provided me with such a lifestyle. I could never thank them enough. And I'd basically be one of the best champions of all time, because everybody knows and understands I go out there and kill myself for this. And I'll do whatever it takes, and I put my body on the line each and every night, and I think the fans truly respect me for that, and I respect them back by hopefully becoming the TNA World Champion.
What a pay-per-view Bound for Glory is going to be. And there's more to come as RVD sets his sights on Abyss at TNA's biggest pay-per-view event of the year.
Reason that I left RVD ripped and tattered and shredded in a pool of his own blood was because they instructed me to do so.
You know, when you've been around wrestling as long as I have, you're not shocked and surprised by too many things. But when you saw the developments in that horrific, that sick, brutal beating, I think a lot of us who have been in this business for many years were taken aback.
As I was getting loaded into the ambulance, I already knew I was going to be coming back. RVD's a spirit. The flesh, this is just my vehicle. You can't destroy me unless you kill my spirit.
After the brutal attack on the champ, the TNA Championship Committee was left with no choice but to strip RVD of the title and put the gold up for grabs.
Anytime someone takes you out to the level that Abyss took out Van Dam in that horrific, violent, masochistic way, you got to think about it. If you're Rob Van Dam, you want to take Abyss apart.
Now, after returning home to California to recover, the whole effing show is back and out for blood.
That mere ability for Rob Van Dam to get back into the ring at Bound for Glory is a real surprise and a real shock to me. Just the fact that he's going to be competing. And conversations that I've had with him, he tells me that the doctors have not signed off, that he's not 100% clear to come back.
There's no way he can be at 100% by Bound for Glory. I'm concerned about him coming back too soon and the long-term repercussions from that.
My rehabilitation has been going excellent. How many wrestlers have 20 years experience in the ring but still be enjoying their physical prime? Not too many.
Rob Van Dam, they told me to eliminate you. And the only mistake I made was that night that Janice tore into your flesh. I didn't finish the job that night.
After months of rehabilitation from one of the most brutal attacks in the history of professional wrestling, RVD has set his sights on revenge.
There's a score to settle, for sure. And like I said, it's all about balancing things out. And I kind of owe him some pain, some humiliation, something to really think about. I'm going to destroy Abyss.
On October 10th, RVD and Abyss will clash on TNA's biggest stage, Bound for Glory in Monsters Ball.
The Monsters Ball is the most destructive, horrific match that one can participate in.
Why risk anything? Why even step into the ring anytime if you're not willing to put it all on the line? What am I going to do, like wait till it's more convenient and hope that another chance comes up further on down the road that's going to be a good time to step into the ring with Abyss? No, it's not what I do. The opportunity's here and I'm taking it.
Abyss will also reveal the answer to the question that has the world asking, who is they?
Obviously, just like anyone else that's even paid attention to TNA, yeah, I'm very curious who they are.
Are you really that ignorant to ask me the question who they are?
On 10-10-10, the mystery will finally unfold.
They're gonna get you into trouble. In fact, they already have, because now I'm coming after you, Abyss. You know who that is you left lying on the floor? It's Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
On 10-10-10, at the Monsters Ball, at Bound for Glory, when they arrive, we will celebrate their arrival with your termination. At Bound for Glory, I'm gonna murder you.
Still to come, Eric Young and Orlando Jordan team up to take on Suicide and the Freak Rob Terry. But up next, we take a look back at the situation between Fortune and EV2 leading into their match at Bound for Glory.
Coming off of Hardcore Justice, EV2 was riding high until the lights went out. Responsible was Fortune, Ric Flair's own hand-picked stable. Their mission was to eliminate the threat EV2 posed to their power.
This feud that's been going on between Fortune and EV2 has gotten out of control. I mean, I wanted to do a good thing for one night and had every right to do that in my position. The fans wanted it. I wanted to see it happen. And, you know, Rick decided to take offense to it and really made it personal.
EV2 is a gimmick.